Hello and welcome back to another Nerf Blaster review video for the channel. My name is Luke Triton and today we are covering the Fortnite 6-shooter. This is a Fortnite blaster. Why am I getting another Fortnite blaster? There is a reason, I will get to that in this video. But it is a Hammer Prime spring action blaster with a 6-dart cylinder, and it is probably one of the better sidearms I'm going to get my hands on. So, this is my third Fortnite blaster, which is embarrassing of itself, but my first Fortnite blaster, which I think was the SPL, I don't remember names, I don't care for Fortnite, that was originally a prop. The second one, the IR, I bought for the attachments. This one actually has a functional purpose. So I bought this as an actual sidearm to go alongside the rest of my Nerf gear. So far, my only sidearm is the small 2-shot blaster that comes in the mediator stock, which I have part of my main blaster setup. This is a full-on, dedicated, proper sidearm. Now, there is a modification made to this blaster, which I will showcase in just a second. But it was recently, well, recently as in like maybe even a month ago at this point. Good lord, these videos are quite delayed. But yes, recently I got the idea of, maybe I should get a proper sidearm for when I go to Nerf Wars. And I wasn't too sure if I wanted to get something that was magazine-based, basically just another Strife with some 6-dart mags. But I thought, well, having to carry more mags, that's not something I really want to do. So let's get a revolver. Now, which one do I go for? I have a Maverick, but that's an antique. That's not really something you can really functionally use. There are other options out there. I do have another blaster with me, which I will show in its own video. But this was one of the options that really did seem interesting. This is where that interesting really does come into play. So this is something I would actually run instead of the Hammer Shot from the Zombie Strike line. Now the Hammer Shot is a 5-dart version of this. It's a pistol, Hammer Prime, chamber, it's lovely, but this also reminded me of the old argument, especially I remember this back in the day. I think I said this in the Spectre video as well, because it's about the Spectre and the Maverick. The Spectre, when it came out, had some cool tactical potential, but it only had 5 shots in the cylinder instead of 6. So that was the balance where, if you compared it to the Maverick, with the Spectre, you can add on a barrel and a stock and a scope, which is cool, but at the sacrifice of one less shot. Chances are people weren't going to use it for that sort of thing anyways, but there was that balance. So there's this and the Hammer Shot. So you could run the Hammer Shot because it's one of the best and most reliable blasters ever. There are modifications for it as well as, I believe, a chamber that can hold 9 darts for the Hammer Shot. I'm not exactly big into modding. I might have to look into that one day in the future. But this, by default, straight out of the box, that's 6 darts. And straight away, that's what it reminded me of, which was quite amusing. So let's talk about the barrel and get this out of the way, because the barrel is designed to be attached to the blaster and stay attached to the blaster. I have modified mine, so I can take it off. This does not work in the same style as a normal N-Strike barrel attachment, which is a real shame because that's a missed opportunity. This barrel, if you just look at the silhouette, if I try and turn it this way, because that massive white text is really obnoxious, that is not a bad shape for a barrel. It's just a plain good-looking barrel. You can definitely put that on the end of a Strife and it looks quite like a carbine. It's not too bad, but it's Fortnite, so I had to be rubbish. So, how am I able to remove this? Well, you can see there, this is nice and smooth. But with the way this is all set up, there should be a tooth here and a tooth here. I filed those teeth marks down, so instead of being able to attach the barrel and it snaps into place, when that would happen, it's not supposed to be removed. But because I filed those down, there's nothing for the barrel to really grip onto, so I can take that off freely. So yeah, interesting barrel, but that's basically just going to live in my box of spare parts because I'm never going to really do anything with this ever again, which is a shame because it's a barrel attachment and I love attachments. But, oh, hang on, let's do it properly. The blaster itself, yes, this is definitely one of those pistols where you can swing it around like this. It's brilliant. I'm not too keen on the grip. If there was anything I was going to complain about, livery aside, it's the grip. So the way this is positioned, you can definitely see this is supposed to be an old-style revolver, and it takes elements from the video game, but I don't like how my hand is like this. I would much rather angled upwards slightly. So basically this, you can see that bottom section of the grip there is basically being exposed, but that's a lot more comfortable there. I feel like this grip is unnecessarily large, but I think I'd much be happier, if it was like this instead of it being re-released with a much smaller grip with basically most other Nerf blasters on the market right now. So yeah, it's not uncomfortable, it's useful, it's there, but it's just a matter of preference. So this is a spring action blaster with a hammer prime, so you can do this all one-handed. That is how you prime it. And that is also an issue I think I still need to get used to, because I'm someone who uses primary flywheelers. This single action prime thing, having to constantly readjust my hand, that comes into an issue as well when it came to the position and the shape of the grip, having to constantly readjust every single time after firing. So this fires 6 darts in the chamber. Oh, shouldn't try to spin it when it's actually primed. And to fire it, of course, you just pull the trigger. Lovely stuff. So one of the favourite... Oh, that dart bounced back over to my feet, so I can actually pick this one up. That's cool. So the chamber itself is free spinning. No other blaster does that, except for the Maverick, but you can pull the chamber out and then free spin it. This doesn't move out of the blaster, that's in position all the time. And you can fix 2 darts into the chamber at a single instance, so you can see these 2 holes here. 2 darts separate, entered at a time, so you rotate and you continue to insert the darts. And it's actually a fairly quick process. You can definitely get used to loading 2 darts in at a time, which is very cool. I quite dig that. But overall, with the whole thing, you know, it's Fortnite and the pistol grip thing, you know, being its own issue, this is definitely a blaster you can get used to firing all day long. I spent a good afternoon firing this blaster, and I don't know if this is just muscle memory or something like, again, everybody's kind of different in their own way, but after firing this for, again, basically an entire afternoon, I was not exhausted in any way, shape or form. Even my hand having to constantly reposition it, having to make it easier for me to fire the blaster in the first place, just because I have to, you know, do that. A bit awkward, sure, but it was so comfortable to use, and it's so much fun because it's a revolver. Brilliant stuff, this. I don't know if I would repaint this because, again, I don't really like or really care about Fortnite at all, for that matter. If anything, I will repaint this in white to match the regulator and a lot of all the other modulus attachments that I use. But at the same time, it's something that's obvious, so when you go to a Nerf war, this isn't going to cause any problems. Someone's going to see this and go, it's obviously a toy, they're not going to be using a real firearm, so that's a very good thing indeed. I bought this, brand new on the shop floor, for £20, which is pretty good. I think that was discounted anyways, but I saw this for £20 and thought, you know what, let's get one, because why not? This is something I can get right now, instead of having to go on eBay and find a hammer shop for most likely what would be a cheaper price, but even then, I think I would prefer this over the hammer shots. In time, I would have to definitely review that blaster, but here and now, for my recommendation, even if you're not a Fortnite fan and you're looking for a sidearm for a Nerf war, this is a damn good purchase. At £20 for the whole package, even with the barrel, if you want to just keep the barrel on, it will be an inconvenience to try and have on your person. But even then, if you're, again, like at a home war, for example, even if you just got this sat on the floor, you could just pick this up, have a quick go, and it would be a very fun experience because revolvers are the best. They are just so much fun. It's blasters like this that remind me of other sides of the Nerf hobby, and it's just excellent. It really is excellent. All the same, I do still recommend going through the modification process of just filing down the 2 teeth you would find here, because this barrel is obviously crazy long. I don't believe it has any kind of obstruction when it comes to firing the darts through the chamber. I never actually tested firing this with the barrel on because straight away I did the modification, so that, you know, a bit of a bias there. But all the same, I am quite happy and very pleased with this blaster. It's a damn good purchase. But I am not going to be doing anything with this just yet. I need to buy a hammer shot. I might get 1 or 2 more revolvers, depending on what's out there, what's available. Maybe living in the UK, obviously, Nerf options are quite limited. But I'm also going to be doing a versus video with a few different sidearms to see which one I really should go for. So this, the Maverick, maybe a few others, and another blaster I've got right next to me, which I'm going to be recording in another video right now after this one. So yeah, that is everything I have to say on the Fortnite 6-shooter. It is a very fun blaster, and it has my purchase recommendation. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to keep an eye on my community tab for polls and updates. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Flickr for some more behind-the-scenes videos and pictures. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.